Bitcoin and things like it is the equivalent of the red pill, okay? We are entering a completely world of uncharted water right now.
Have you made any investments in Bitcoin?
So, I mean, I personally own Bitcoin in my hedge fund. I own Bitcoin in my fund. I own Bitcoin in my private account. It is a huge deal. It's a huge, huge, huge deal. Because what you're talking about right now is for the next 3 to 5 years, an unbelievably better store of value. It is gold 2.0. Right? The value of gold that hedges the world economy about $9 trillion, right? 1,300 an ounce, of which only $100 to $150 is the actual production value. So all the rest of it is imputed, where, Lena, you and I have decided that it's worth 1,300 an ounce. Well, guess what? I can do the same thing with Bitcoin, except now I can do it outside the purview of every single government. It's being used everywhere where you would think it would be used. Russia, Iran, Iraq, Egypt, Venezuela, Argentina, everywhere where you have currency pressure, everywhere where you want to basically shield your assets. And then after that, it'll probably become a payment mechanism. So in all of these three industries, you're talking about trillions of dollars up for grabs. Up for grabs, right? And it's just about trying something.
Right.
And taking a few months to understand what the opportunity is and then hit the scene. And I think that the cool thing is, it's easier to know how to code. It's actually useful in a way where, you can probably hack something together yourself. You can find folks. And so this is the time where people should be trying really big, crazy things.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily, where you subscribe for our daily videos, keeping you informed on everything going on with Bitcoin, crypto, the whole market. This speech that you just listened to, I loved it. I wanted to share with you. It was given by a man named Chamath Paul. And this was part of a small fireside chat almost. It was actually a conference, a tech conference put on by TechCrunch back in 2013. And think about that, 2013. So at this point in time, Bitcoin's price was only a couple $100. And this was a tech conference. This wasn't even a crypto conference. Today, in 2019, almost seems like there's a crypto conference every couple weeks, which is a great thing in my opinion. But back then, these crypto conferences, they were few and far between. This was the tech conference. The fact is, in 2013, even 14, 15, 16, there wasn't a lot of people who talked like this. There wasn't a lot of people who understood and could articulate the value that Bitcoin and crypto has. And he was one of them, but he was few and far between in that aspect. So back then, think about this. There were no crypto YouTubers that you could follow. There was no crypto podcast you could subscribe to. The crypto news sites were almost non-existent at this time period. There was CoinDesk and I don't know what else. Today, we have all these outlets I just mentioned, and they're growing. There's a lot of competition. There's more channels like mine that's starting. There's more news sites that are providing competition to CoinDesk. Even on CNBC. Every single day, they devote some time to talk about Bitcoin on the financial channel, on the network news, on a regular basis. My point is, a lot has changed since back then. In today's video, I want to go over these two articles. What I want to do is I want to basically summarize all the macro influences, all the green flags that tell me that Bitcoin will rise again, greater than before, and not just Bitcoin. Yes, I know. I think a select few altcoins will also be successful. Which altcoins will those be? They've yet to be determined, in my opinion. Maybe you know. But in today's video, I want to share with you why more or less I'm pretty damn sure that Bitcoin will rise again greater than before. So first question, very broad, very basic. Is the future heading towards a positive direction for Bitcoin? I say yes. I believe we're setting up once again for a multi-year bull cycle that's going to make this mountain of 2017, it's going to make this look like a molehill, a little tiny molehill given enough time. And that may sound crazy to you, but it's easy to fall victim to thinking that maybe you missed the boat, maybe this was it, there's nothing beyond this. I want to remind you of something. It was at this point, it was at this peak, at the very top, Bitcoin had a market cap of less than $1 trillion. Now, when the dot-com bubble burst, a lot of people compare Bitcoin to the dot-com bubble. When the dot-com bubble burst, it had a market cap of 6.6 trillion or multi-trillion, something like that. Now, I'm sure you know the dot-com bubble was primarily confined to US accredited investors. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is a worldwide phenomenon. I like what Mike Novogratz said on this issue. You know Mike Novogratz, he is the poster boy for Wall Street turning crypto, and he puts this into perspective. Cryptocurrency is a global revolution. The internet bubble, well, it was only a US thing. It was rich US people participating. Cryptocurrency is global. There are kids in Bangladesh buying coins. It's big in Tokyo, in South Korea, in China, in India, in Russia. We've got a global market and a global mania, and this will feel like a bubble when we are at a $20 trillion market cap. So we have yet to see what cryptocurrency, we have yet to see the bubble, basically. Now take a look at Bitcoin's heartbeat. This is Bitcoin's heartbeat. This is no tulip bubble. Tulips don't do this. Tulips don't bounce. Tulips don't consolidate at higher price points year after year. This is the many adoption S-curves that Bitcoin and crypto is going through. A lot of people don't know that Bitcoin has been around for 10 years. A lot of people don't know that it has, at each boom-bust cycle, consolidated at a higher price point. So my point is, I think we're at the very beginning stages of the next multi-year bull cycle. More and more people are pulling complete 180s, changing their tune on Bitcoin. They're realizing, wait a second, Bitcoin is probably here to stay. So you can read these two articles on your own time. I just want to go over the basic arguments, the basic points as to why Bitcoin is here to stay, why we're entering into the perfect storm for Bitcoin's growth. So, number one, the US-China trade war. Among other things, this reminds people that Bitcoin is a hedge. So with Bitcoin, you can trade with anybody in the world. You can transfer value in or out any country, anywhere. There's nothing a government could do to stop you from transacting or moving your money. This is appealing to a lot of people. This is a problem Bitcoin can solve. Number two, the debate the other night. Did you watch the Democratic debate the other night? The Democratic Party in the US continues to shift to the left, including on the possibility of a wealth tax. So no matter if you're liberal or conservative, you know, if one of these progressive candidates gets into office, your taxes are going to go up. And maybe that's for reasons you believe in. Maybe it's for reasons you don't believe in. But an increase in taxes, it's a real concern to a lot of people with a lot of wealth. So they see Bitcoin, they would put their money into Bitcoin so they wouldn't have to pay taxes on it. Is basically the point. Good for Bitcoin if one of these liberal guys gets into office. Number three, Facebook is now leading a movement to introduce their new cryptocurrency, Libra, to the world. A lot we don't know about this, but overall, this is a net positive for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a whole. Mark Zuckerberg, like him, hate him, he just put cryptocurrency on the map once again, and he's going to introduce, or probably reintroduce to a lot of people, crypto to its billions of users. Number four, one final possible explanation of the resurgence of Bitcoin. Populism is spreading. The Middle East is not calming down. The world is not solving its geopolitical problems. To the extent that Bitcoin is a general hedge, much like gold, the conditions for its value seem to be favoring a high future demand for portfolio insurance. Even a small percentage of global wealth put into Bitcoin can sustain a high Bitcoin price. That's what I think a lot of people are considering now that they're realizing Bitcoin is here to stay. Maybe I'll just put a little bit of my extra money into Bitcoin, see what happens. And then finally, let's just jump quickly over to the other article, why 2020 could create the perfect storm for Bitcoin's price. I'm just going to read you a portion. So this is, you're familiar with Anthony Pompliano. We talked about him the other day. This is about him. So the Morgan Creek Digital co-founder, he also pointed out that while developed countries like the United States have been able to respond to recessions and maintain relative currency stability in the recent past, they may not have the necessary tools at their disposal the next time around. Interest rates are already rather low. The economy is already addicted to unconventional measures like quantitative easing, i.e. printing money. I think what we're about to see happen, I think it's the perfect storm for Bitcoin, said Pompliano. We're going to cut interest rates. We're going to print money. And at the same time, we're going to take the scarcest asset in the world and cut the daily supply flow in half. This is effing rocket fuel for Bitcoin. Pompliano, of course, was referring to the Bitcoin halving when he mentioned cutting the daily supply flow in half. The creation of new Bitcoin every 10 minutes is halved roughly every 4 years as part of Bitcoin's hard-coded, predictable monetary policy. And besides all this, we have a multitude of institutions coming into the space. Everybody knows about it. Bakkt, Fidelity, etc., etc., But even if we didn't have this institutional interest, even if everything I just went over, even if we didn't have this perfect storm brewing, I think if we didn't have any of this, I still think given time, Bitcoin's price would naturally trend upwards because Bitcoin has a continuous positive feedback loop. As users increase, the value goes up, which attracts more users, and the value goes up, which attracts more users, and the value goes up. And all the while, this makes the network stronger, it makes the network more liquid. You just get this greater network effect, and people will just naturally be attracted to this, I think, this positive feedback loop, which Bitcoin is. Anyways, that's the video today. If you like videos like this, if you want to support the channel, give this video a like. If you want to see daily videos like this, join the team, subscribe to the channel.